Ferrari and T4. Get ready to get this first race of the day underway. I'm Brian Molansky. Tristan Parker here is with me.
I am, hopefully.
Got the green flag in the air, had a little bit of technical difficulties this morning. So we're a little behind the 8 ball here, and so we do not have our qualifying order here for you. But I can tell you that we are racing here. We are underway, and our first cars have come through. We are on lap number 1, so of our races for today. I have to look up and remember how we're doing these today. I believe these are 25-minute time races.
There are 25-minute time races here today, Brian. This is Group 2, so your STLs, your STUs, GT3s, usually a fairly competitive little group here, or at least a lot of racers. Maybe 11 today, and I can give you, I think, a rough grid order here going in. I'm not sure if this is necessarily perfectly off of qualifying times, but it'll at least give everybody at home an idea of who's in this race. So starting off at the back is in 11th, number 98, Robert Kelly. In 10th, number 33, Philip Clark. In 9th, number 8, Tim Gregorio. In 8th, number 93, Edmund Lowe. Alongside him, number 23, Lawrence Huang. In 6th, number 22, Derek Ferretti. Alongside him, number 9, Blaine Bridges. In 4th, Christina Etherington, number 96. In 3rd, number 52, Famous Dale Shoemaker. In 2nd, number 28, Joseph Yao. And in 1st place, your pole position, number 91, Richard James. And he was leading the pack when they set off across the line. Did have Joseph Yao right behind him at that time, but they are off for now and seem to be maintaining good order and clip as they go around here.
This is actually turn 9, turn 7 camera. Now we're in turn 8. I'm all for Cocker today. I don't know what's going on.
You know, it's been a weird couple of days. We'll get into that. It's been a weird couple of days out here in Southern California in general. For those of you who are not from the region, we've had a lot of rain. It's not really reflected on the track here today. Fortunately, at Buttonwillow, it's pretty dry, a little cold out there, if anything. It's starting to warm up here. But in general, yeah, it's been a rainy couple of days. Drivers, I think, coming out maybe prepared for that, only for it to be actually, as you can see on the cameras there, beautiful, sunshiny day. Good clear skies with a little bit of clouding, so a good day for racing all around, as it so often is here at Buttonwillow. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. First race of the day, first race of the weekend. There's going to be some teething issues. We got a newer setup here as well, so everything's advancing a certain bit. Blaine Bridges, speaking of advancing, has actually moved up into first place after the initial lap, so put on him. Richard James dropping down to 2nd. Then Dale Shoemaker shifting up to 3rd, so keeping that a little competitive there. Now, I don't know what cars these guys are in necessarily, but I'll go ahead and look at it as best I can. Had obviously qualifying this morning, everything pretty clean out there on the track, which is good to see. We are on the circuit. I think we mentioned at the top of this, Brian, that we are at the new track here at Buttonwillow. I guess, what are we, three races deep here for SCCA. This is our 3rd one on this circuit, so drivers are slowly starting to learn it if they haven't already. There was practice yesterday. There was obviously back in February was the runoffs. Was that what was out here? The Super Tours. The Super, because you were doing that. So they've had some experience driving out here as well. So drivers are getting used to it. It's a very flowy track. It's a lot of feedback. I think drivers like it a lot. If they're to be believed, I think the bigger problem is the spectators are a little down on it just because it's really hard to see what's going on. So we don't have a window facing the track, so we're operating entirely off mechanical means at the moment to see what's going on. So our turn cameras here, such as turn 8, that's what's providing us our view, and that's your view as well. So, you know, something that I'm sure will improve as time goes on. People will find good places to watch and what have you. But it is very exciting to see this track in action and to see everybody out here enjoying it. It really, I said this last time when I was out in January for race number 1, but it really does feel like it's infused a very positive energy into the general tenor of things here at Cal Club. So that's great indeed. But there you can see the packs splitting up a little bit. we kind of would expect this to happen. This is usually what tends to occur. A couple of drivers a little bit faster than the others, and some gaps opening up here. No big shifts down the line in terms of position. It does look like maybe Philip Clark got up a spot, but he was towards the back of the pack. Robert Kelly also doing a little bit as well. Unfortunately for Tim Gregorio, he started off middle of the pack, if I remember correctly. He's dropped way back now into the back. But again, important to remember for SCCA races, or Cal Club races in particular. I don't know how it works in the rest of SCCA, so I can't speak for it, but Cal Club in particular, these guys are not racing necessarily against one another. They're racing within their class. We just are mixing classes together. So even though somebody may drop to the back of the race board, they may actually only be third in their class or second in their class. So it's important to keep that as well. Sorry, I've been talking a lot, Brian, but I only give you a chance to push buttons and fiddle because you do the heavy lifting on the production, which I couldn't even. We were just talking about this earlier. I couldn't even begin to wrap my head around production, so that is not my passion. So.
No, and you are absolutely correct. The SCCA, for the most part, is multi-class racing, and in this particular race, you see all the different classes that we have racing here with us today, and they are out here together. So the car you're seeing right here coming through the line, that is Blaine Bridges. He is completing his third race lap here. Then you've got Richard James. That is the red STU car there. And you see these cars coming into our view at this moment. This is turn 9.
Yes, there are 3 STU cars. There's one GT2, one ETA, one SP, 2 STLs, 3 STUs, 1 T3, and 2 T4. So a very mixed group across the board. There's really no dominance. This is going to be a little bit different from, say, our Miatas or our Spec Racers, where it'll all be dominated pretty much by one car. So a lot of variety out there as well. And kind of like to see that. Your overall race leader, still Blaine Bridges. He is the lone ITE car out there on the track here today. So good for him.
Yeah, definitely. That is the case here. We will keep you on top of the timing of this race as well.
I would think, Brian, after all the time that I've been out here working on these things with you, that I have a better understanding of what technically makes a car, or what categories cars are in, but I never quite remember like what an ITE is. In my defense, there are a lot of categories, and if you look at the SCA, there are 28 classes that complete in Cal Club racing major events. So that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a ton of classes, and typically, so STL stands for ST under, or ST light, which is a little bit slower than STU, which is ST under. It doesn't make sense, but that's how it typically works here. Typically, in the numbered classes, the lower the number, the faster the class. So T1 and GT1 are the fastest classes. T4, GT3, the slower classes. Same goes with any of the lettered classes. So E production would be faster than H production. ITA would be faster than ITE, etc., etc. ITE is one of those weird classes, though, because that's a catch-all class. And there's a lot of different things in there. That one is kind of hard to understand and explain, even for those of us who've been doing this for a very long time. So
there's always something like that. Let's be honest. There's always something arcane out there. So that's just how.
Grace will be given in this regard.
Thank you.
And as we come through here.
Yeah, it really is it cannot be overstated actually how much of a lovely day it is out here in Buttonwillow, just following 3 days. I was raining on the way here when I was coming over the mountains to get here, so I was a little bit worried we'd see something like that, but no, it is very nice out there. If anything, it's starting to heat up just in time for the racing, which will heat up that track a little bit as well, and I'm sure the drivers will appreciate that. Yeah, we've been a little bit fortunate here in these first couple of weekends. I don't think we've had kind of a ton of rain. We certainly have seen that, but the new track so far not really been tested in that regard. I personally, I know I said the drivers like it. I personally quite like this track as well. I think this track is quite fun. It lacks probably some of the, what's a good term for it, some of the versatility perhaps of the old track here, which has a name.
The classic.
Classic, thank you. Yes. I knew it was a synonym, but it was the classic track. It lacks some of the customization, but it is a fun track, and I've driven it now a couple of times not competitively. And so I've got a good feel for it, and it feels fun. It's a hard one. The only thing we don't have is we don't have turn names, and I just don't know how that develops. I love things like that. I find that very interesting to see how people come up with nicknames for things like that, but there will be some, I'm sure.
I'm sure at some point there will be. Yep. So, I mean, this one, Lurdo Highway is paralleling
the
this.
Lurdo turn, I think, was one.
Or the Lurdo Straight, maybe.
The Lurdo
even
Straight,
better.
there you go. That's one I think we can affirmatively start here, as that's the Lurdo Straight, because it is right next to Lurdo. And if you guys are watching from home, or wherever you're watching from, if you do see a car going the opposite direction, that's why, so don't freak out or anything. It's there, it's all good.
Well, so today you won't see that, because I've got some different camera angles.
Oh, okay.
So this is coming out of turn 8, way in the distance, coming straight at us down what we're actually, just the two of us. None of these names are official because I don't believe we get to make the official names. But this is a straight thing. And you can actually see the car right off to the right there. There you go.
There you go. Perfectly illustrated. Thank you, random car that passed by. Going back to the action here on the track, it's probably a tight grouping out of this group 1 today. Quite like to see that, honestly, except for a little bit of split, and that's to be expected. But Blaine Bridges still holding your lead after 5 laps, going about 2:02 there on the last one. Richard Dames, Derek Ferretti following it out. Dale Schumacher was up there for a little bit. He's dropped back now, 5th. Robert Kelly actually on the last lap slipped by him and put himself in 4th overall in this race. So a surprising amount of movement down there when they're coming kind of across the line. And this is one of the things last time I was out here in January that you and I were talking about a little bit, Brian, is it's still kind of in the air where the kind of the passing corners are and where people like to pass on this track. Because back on the Classic, there are, I'd say, well-defined areas where people like to make their moves. This track is forcing people, I think, to rethink that a little bit. But I mean, you can see right there, that might be Blaine Bridges in the pack. You can see the attempt at the pass right there on turn 6, but it's a tough one. That's a tough turn to try and slip underneath on. We saw, again, in January, I hate to be referring back to it, but that's my experience. We saw drivers trying to make the pass there, and it very rarely quite worked out the way they wanted it to.
Blaine Bridges, one of those club racing success stories. He met up with us in one of our track event days and got to know our track event steward. And now he's out racing wheel to wheel in this ITE car. And right behind him is Richard James. That car is a Spec MX-5 car that he's also racing in, I believe it's STL. I don't have the class names on my sheet anymore. So,
track record, the ITE by Blaine Bridges. Oh, track record. Genuine track record.
Yes.
It's quite exciting. 201.917 for Blaine Bridges. That's the track records for the IE class. So that's going to be a thing, actually. I should say track records. We're probably going to see that not infrequently in these early races as people get better at this and the shuffling starts and what have you. So yeah, good job there, Blaine Bridges, for working that out. Robert Kelly, by the way, snuck past Richard James there after climbed up. And unfortunately for Dale Shoemaker, he dropped back another place. You see Joseph Yao got the better of him, managed to find that pass somewhere out on the track and get around him. So a little bit more shuffling there amongst the cars behind. It was a good move by Robert Kelly because he was a little deep there and he managed to work his way up.
All right, we're at the halfway point at this particular moment, and you know what happens at the halfway point, right?
I do. It is time for the mid-race update brought to you by RaceSchool.com. Let's start at the top. Your overall race leader here is the number 9 car, Blaine Bridges, with his new track record for ITE. In second place by number 98, Robert Kelly. In third place, number 91, Richard James. In fourth, Derek Ferretti. In fifth, Joseph Yao. In sixth, Dale Shoemaker. In seventh, Christina Etherington. In eighth, Lawrence Wong. In ninth, Philip Clark. In 10th, Tim Gregorio. And then in 11th, Edmund Lowe. That is your mid-race update by RaceSchool.com.
And that is how we do it here. Yeah, I think you were talking about, normal, what is being thought of as good passing zones here. And a couple of them have started to develop. One of them is right here at the end of the straight going into turn 7.
That makes sense.
This one has become a fairly popular spot here. And then the other spot where I've seen some moves being made here is when they come out of 8 here and head down towards turn 9. Turn 9 has been a place where people pop out here. We'll see that here in just a second.
It might honestly be fair to include turn 6 in there as well.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of times. I don't know that it's a good one, but again, I'm also not a race car driver, so I can't really speak to it from experience. But it has been one where, like I said, we've seen people try and make things happen there. But yeah, Plain Bridge is pretty commandingly in the lead right now, though I will say Robert Kelly picking up a lot of steam. He was actually 159 on the last lap, which is pretty dang fast compared to the rest of the cars in this category, so something to keep an eye on. I was going to say, you know, when you mentioned Plain Bridges got into this because of track events, should say that there is track events on today. And if you're interested in coming out here with your car and giving it a go around the circuit, you can do that with Cal Club. We do track events on a pretty regular basis. You get to drive around the track quite a few times. I think there's 3 or 4 of them today, track event sessions. So you get out there for like 20-25 minutes and you can drive, you know, within reason, obviously around the track. If you're interested in that, you can find more information on the Cal Club website. And it is definitely worth checking out if that's something you want to get into. And hey, you might like it as much as Plain Bridges did and end up coming out here on a regular basis.
This is our Group 2 here, as we were talking about earlier. My next race up here. I fix that.
Yes. That should always be fun. They're loud. I'm such a baby when it comes to noise. They're loud. You'll hear them. You hear them through the walls of our lovely commentator shed.
Yeah, I don't know how many, if we have any spec Corvettes here this weekend. I'm not certain of that. Yeah, I don't see any spec Corvettes on the list here. So,
well, let's hope that, you know, maybe we got a different list. I don't know. I no doubt whatever it is going to be entertaining.
Yes, absolutely.
And it does look like a bit of an unfortunate circumstance here for famous Dale Shoemaker. There's some smoke coming off the back of his car. Whether or not that's bad smoke or regular smoke or how much smoke, he's number 52 black. So if you see a black car go by smoking, you know that that's him. Hopefully it's nothing too serious because he is out there. This was when he was coming through turn 6 not that long ago. So we'll see if he's all right. Hopefully no big issues there. But, you know, it happens. That's just the nature of racing.
Yeah, I would suggest that the only class where smoke isn't really a bad thing is Formula V, where we see them doing their little
got a chance bomb
on a regular basis here.
Is that James Bond? That's got to be a smoke screen.
Yeah.
Always wondered what the...
Yeah, there he is. His nail.
Yeah. It's not black, but it's not good either. You don't like to see that. It's probably going to necessitate him either being told to pit or having to pit here. And yeah, as you see him come down the straight, he's putting up a real cloud. That's not good.
He's also off the racing line, so I think he has probably figured out what's going on with his car.
Oh yeah, he slowed way down here on the turn. You hate to see it.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to get that taken care of in the hours between now and tomorrow's races, and he'll be able to get this thing back out here. He is one of those cars who is out here with us all the time.
Yeah, he's a stalwart and a very pleasant individual.
Yes.
Very fun to talk to.
Absolutely. So.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he's going to keep this up. He's going to have to move in. That's just, you know, nature of these things. Yeah, again, he's got time to fix it. He's the first race of the day, so that gives him and anybody else he's working with time to figure it out. Hopefully he'll be okay to race in this group tomorrow. Meanwhile, I should say Robert Kelly continuing to put up pulse-pounding times here. He's actually managed to get around Lane Bridges and take the lead overall in the race. Richard James now sitting in third. Derek Ferretti sitting in fourth. And unfortunately, Dale is dropping back as would be expected with a little bit more cautious driving. But yeah, Robert Kelly with now a 4.8-second lead. So he really barnstormed it on the last couple of rounds there. Really went fast. Now we're almost about 20 seconds into the race, or 20 minutes into the race. So awful fast. But we're just 20 minutes into the race, so we probably don't have many more laps here left before these drivers go in. It does look like 52 Black is coming in for a pit stop, so that probably is the end of the race for Dale Shoemaker. Upside, Dale does count completely. He's more than half, so there is an upside there for him, so we felt bad for him. Don't worry, he's okay. And I think he was maybe the only car. I have to go double check. He might have been the only car in his category, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's certainly not, what you want to have. Oh, no, he's the third S2, so he still gets the third place finish. Not bad, and hopefully nothing too wrong. Back to turn 8 we go.
That's exactly true. How the switch happened.
Is it Porsche or Porsche?
Porsche.
Okay. Yeah. I like the kids too. Never go there, don't I?
Porsche put out a video.
Oh, this is a Porsche.
Explaining people how to say Porsche.
I like that, actually. That's real funny.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's great. Ooh, I didn't know about the sound of that, but good to know.
Alright, so that was the 9 car of 09 car Plain Bridge. Come in and come off.
Oh man, that's unfortunate because he was the race leader for a long time there, but now yeah, he's done and dusted.
I can't stop. I don't have brakes.
You have brakes?
Yeah, I lost one my foot.
Alright, just stay here. We'll tow you.
Okay.
You got to stay in town.
Did I finish my?
Yeah, you're fine. Get out
Did I
the
finish
car.
half?
Get out the car. You're good.
I good?
Yeah, just stay in the car. Turn the car off. Get out the car.